32 Inning Podcast. Sports analysis.
Interviews.
Entertainment reviews. And everything in between.
Should be good to go.
Yo, what's that word? 32 Inning Podcast, episode 94. Sorry if it's a little glitchy tonight, but hope y'all doing good. Good to hear from my boy tonight. How you doing tonight, my boy?
Good, chilling.
For sure. All right, we're going to start it off as we do with the Reddit warm-up for the night. So I'm going to ask you, it's a two-part question. So, for the same thing, who you think, as far as in history of the NBA, won the NBA and won the NFL, got the most sauce, like marketability, and just, you know, that draw to them, particularly from our culture?
From our culture?
One from the NBA, one from the NFL.
I ain't gonna hold you, bro. The sauce got the sauce for NFL, you know.
Sauce with the sauce.
Yeah, nah. He probably be my pick for NFL. You know, just like a swag to everything he do. And the fact that, you know, he talks smacks and he can back it up. As a rookie, he was one of the best corners in the league, so that says a lot in itself. NBA, from our time, like sauce-wise, let me see. Kyle Kuzma, head ass. But nah, but nah. NBA is kind of hard. I don't really be looking like towards like the wardrobe, like, you know, how they is outside of basketball. If you want to give me yours, I'll think real quick.
For sure. NBA, man, it's two names that come immediate to me. First, got my guy Ant Edwards. I just think he got the talk game down pat. I think he got the confidence. He just know he that guy. So I respect it. So I'm gonna go with Ant. But for the NBA, I also go with Westbrook. I think Westbrook got the ultimate sauce too. I just heard Westbrook actually finna get like a crazy deal from overseas. I think a Russian ball club, the first of its kind in history. So we'll see how it plays out. Might turn into the next Stephon Marbury over there. And then for the NFL, it's so hard because the NFL players wear helmets and like we don't get a chance to see their personality. I say right now that boy Stephon Diggs though. Me personally, I'm gonna say Stephon Diggs, boy. So I think we just see him more than we see a lot of people. Plus, I remember that Minnesota Vikings interview a couple of years ago when they said, "Who would you least amount to date your sister?" And it was universal. It was Diggs. So I'm gonna go with Diggs and then Anthony Edwards and Westbrook for sure.
Sauce wise, you know, I'm gonna have to go with a fellow light skin. He a great player off the bench. Give me Kelly Oubre. You know, dude had the nickname Tsunami Poppy at one point. All the girls wanted that man. Man, you know, he a highlight reel, honestly. He could poster, he could posterize. A real good role player. This is kind of some back in the day stuff. Now he's kind of calmed down a bit. But I definitely go with him.
Sure.
I feel like he, you know, kind of fit the name, fit the brand. You know, females was watching the NBA because of him at a certain point. So.
Okay. I respect it. See, I almost had confused because I thought that boy had them boss man D-Lo allegations. but that's what's up, dude. They doing this thing for sure. Or did his thing. But y'all let us know who y'all think had the most NBA, NFL, man. That's for the Reddit warm up right there. But we're gonna get into episode 95, and let's start it off with a bad place for my co-host here, but I think it's the most heaviest topic we're gonna talk about tonight. How you felt about man Thibs getting let go by the Knicks?
I mean, it don't really make a difference to me. I'm still freaking heartbroken from the fucking Eastern Conference Finals. I think it has its pros and its cons. You know, for the Knicks to fire a guy that led you on your best run in like 25 years, it kind of don't make sense, but it does just because of all that he's done when it comes to the playoffs, and it's all led to the same thing: the Knicks and Cancun. And just he hasn't he. I don't think he really was able to adapt in the Pacers series, like adapt his rotation to what needed to be done. I feel like he was afraid to play his bench players a lot more than he should have. Knicks don't have a great one of the top benches, but they also don't have a terrible bench. Their bench is pretty good, decent. You got Precious Achiuwa, he comes and gives good minutes. Deuce McBride giving good minutes. Cameron Payne, I can't say that he gave good minutes this series, but he could be an Energizer Bunny off of the bench for you. And I feel like the Knicks need to find a coach that's going to come in and utilize the bench. And from what I'm hearing, the Knicks are trying to make another move this summer, which I don't know, man. I'm in shambles being a Knicks fan right now.
I feel you. Honestly, I picked the Knicks to win the NBA championship this year. My only hiccup, y'all go back and check out those episodes. I'll probably provide a link for it in the description for this one. But I've never thought Thibs was an awesome coach. He used to be the head coach for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Got relieved of his duties there as well. I just don't think he has that championship offensive system. It seems like every team he gets on, he had them playing good defense, a strong culture, but on the offensive side of the basketball, it just seems like he get a ball to his stars and just say, "Hey, my dude, go get a bucket. Like, go win the game." Like, it's no like flow to his system. From you saw it with D Rose. D Rose was mostly isolation and pick and roll.
Yeah.
Then with the reason I became a Timberwolves fan when they had the baby big three with Cat, it was post up or threes. Jimmy Butler go get a bucket. Zach LaVine go get a bucket. Wiggs go get a bucket or post up. It was never like he doesn't make it easy on his players on the offensive end, in my personal opinion. And I mean, from what we've seen, as far as the Knicks, I saw the same thing. The Knicks was a Cat. Go get a bucket. Jalen Brunson, definitely go get a bucket and hold the ball the whole time. Let's end up getting an isolation play. The Knicks weren't great getting to their offense. But I still think they had the necessary talent to be able to get to the finals and ultimately win the championship. And I still feel that way. I still think they got an awesome starting five. Talent-wise, collective talent-wise, I'd wager they have the best starting five in the NBA. Literally everybody in their starting five has either been an all-star or has the potential to be an all-star. I just don't think they had the correct coach. So I kind of figured I can't say it was on my horizon for them to fire Thibs, but I thought that would be a necessary step for them in order to get over the hump. But like you just said, I thought with them having the best couple years in the past 25 years that they would give him another year. Didn't think that was the right decision, but I will understand why they would have done it if they would have went that direction. Now it's about the candidates to potentially replace him, and I think there's some good candidates out there. But before I go, who you think would be a good candidate to replace Thibs?
Sheesh. We call him the Villanova Knicks, right? Might as well go get Jay Wright. He left Villanova last year. I think he can make the transition to the NBA. He's been coaching for a long, long time. He knows the game. He pretty much knows his players. Um, and if you remember the Villanova teams back in the day, they were hard nosed, gritty. Get right to it, always down to get physical. Grind games out, grind out wins, and I honestly think that's what the Knicks needed against the Pacers. Especially, the Pacers look more physical than them, more assertive than them at most points in this series. So definitely a coach that's going to bring, the assertiveness, the more aggressiveness, all that stuff to them, especially on defense.
I respect what you're saying, 100%. Respect everything you say. But I'm gonna have to disagree here in the sense of I think they was that. I think the Knicks was. I think that's Tom Thibodeau's identity for all his teams. But I don't think the roster makeup fits playing that style of ball. I think New York, the culture and what the fans want, they want to play that way. But I think it needs to be more of a free flowing system and a more up and down style system. Maybe get a couple athletes and shooters for that bench and push the pace a little bit, because I don't think the personalities they have on that team is grit and grind, them old Memphis type teams. I don't think this is the old New York style teams. I don't think this is these guys. Not that they're soft or anything, but I think they're finesse players. Mikal Bridges often drives to the baskets and pulls up for mid-range jumpers. I don't remember the last time I seen that brother dunk. Cat, I got a lot of respect for a Cat, Minnesota Timberwolves legend. But hey, you know what I'm referring to when I ain't even gonna say but y'all know what I'm thinking when it comes to Cat. And then Jalen Brunson, he's a tough nosed player, but I think he'll work better with a more open floor as well. So as far as candidates, I like Jay Wright. I think that'll be a nice replacement. Obviously, he has camaraderie with those guys. I would love to see somebody like Mike Malone get the job there. Obviously, people are going to say, yeah, Jokic, that's why he won, but no coach has ever won without great players, so that argument is kind of dumb when people be saying that to me. And I don't think the Nuggets have had the best talent, but I think he got the best out of the talent he had. And I think New York, although Jokic is the best player, maybe New York has a better, more talented roster than the Denver Nuggets do. And I think that the Eastern Conference is a weaker conference to get to the championship. Hell, the Knicks just made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and they would have had a chance, in my opinion, if they had a better coach. So I like Mike Malone there, and just somebody that's a more offensive-minded coach. They seem to always hire defensive guys. I don't know if Derek Fisher was a defensive guy, but we'll see how that plays out with the candidates. Hey, they might not even respect the official, boy. You got people putting hands on Derek Fisher, boy. But moving on to our next one. Let's jump into. So there was a concept that we discussed, and we could bring it to light here. Let's see. It was about high school players, basketball players that were phenomenal in high school, but they kind of busted as college players. So we picked out two each. Who was your first one?
First one I'm gonna go with is I don't know if you remember him, Chris Walker. He wound up committing to Florida. McDonald's All-American, Jordan Brand All-American. He beat out Andrew Wiggins and all them boys in the 2013 the dunk contest for the Jordan Brand Classic, I believe, or if it was the McDonald's All-American game. It was one of those. I think he was top 15 in the nation, 5-star, and he went to Florida and completely shit the bed. Nah, for real,
Yeah.
I think he led his team his senior year to the state championship. He was a monster on the glass. That's what he was known for. He was a very prolific rebounder.
Yeah.
He had offers from pretty much every blue blood school and everything. His 2 seasons at Florida, he averaged 3.7 points and 2.7 rebounds with only 6 starts and 49 career appearances.
Yeah. He definitely
And
flopped. But
then he declared for the draft, and I think the highest he might have made it professionally is like G League.
didn't that boy have like a wicked beard? Like he had like his beard was official, wasn't it?
I don't. He had like a goatee. He was tatted.
Oh, okay, okay.
He was
Yeah,
tatted.
I'm remembering somebody else. I think I'm remembering I can't remember his name, but he had the last name Walker. Used to play with him in 2K. I was about to say folks was Buddha hell. Um,
But nah, yeah, I don't think he's never made it out of the G League.
Ty,
He's still in the G League to this day for the Osceola Magic.
hey, trying to get it.
Hey, he the G
I'm a
League
just
champion.
for sure. I'm gonna go with who everybody was thinking when this topic was presented. That boy Mikey Williams. Um, obviously was a phenom in high school, 5-star player. Man, averaged 30 points a game as a freshman in high school. Um, even as a senior, he averaged 24 points, 9.2 assists. A YouTube sensation, highlight machine. But that's what I think he was. And obviously, before he got to college, that boy was out here trying to put in work, trying to trying to catch bodies and all type of stuff. And that hindered his development. I think he was gonna go to Memphis before that whole situation happened. And I think it would have been good learning under Penny Hardaway over there at Memphis. But he ends up going to UCF. End up averaging 5.1 points a game and 1.9 assists. Obviously, far cry from his high school career. He ended up transferring this year to go play for Sacramento State. I believe their head coach is Mike Bibby, and the general manager is actually the legendary Shaquille O'Neal. I think they got somebody else going there that's really good for basketball too. Sacramento State is doing well in basketball and football. They just got a really good head coach in football as well. Can't remember her name, but he was the OC from UNLV, and they got a couple good transfers on the gridiron too. But as far as Mikey Williams, I just think that he's getting an opportunity at a lower level of competition to maybe refine his game under a really, really pro point guard as far as Mike Bibby, a great vet, was in the league for a long time. It's going to be great with the fundamentals, going to help him develop, and ultimately seem like going to help him mature as a person, because I think Michael Williams got a lot, deservedly so, from the beginning of us seeing him on the internet for years now. It seems like we've been knowing this kid for 10 years now, and now he got a chance to humble himself, hopefully, learn the basics, how to be a pro, how to be a good college player, and I think it's going to do well for him for sure. Who your next player, my guy?
At one point in time, supposedly he had the best high school mixtape for a 14-year-old in the nationally. Seventh Woods. I don't know if you remember him, but
Yep.
um, you know, as an eighth grader, he was playing varsity. He averaged 15 points as an eighth grader. Um, and then sophomore year, 19 points, and it kind of just stayed balanced there throughout it all. He has one of the most viral mixtapes
Yep.
in history. He led his he led his high school team to multiple state championship games. And then he ultimately committed to North Carolina as well. He was a top 60 recruit, I believe, 4-star. Big things, he was a proven scorer throughout all of high school. Then going into North Carolina, he wound up having to sit behind Joel Berry. An injury played a part in him having to, take some time and play behind Kobe White as well in North Carolina. And then he wound up transferring to South Carolina. He started 13 games there, averaged 5 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists as a senior. And then for his extra year of eligibility, he wound up transferring down to Morgan State, where he averaged 5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Just all the hype around him, surrounding him from being a 14-year-old all the way throughout college, kind of just never, came to fruition out in college. He is overseas right now playing basketball. So.
Okay, this player actually did and I had to do some research real quick because I actually picked Seven Woods as well. Some person came to mind, and I can't find the stats, but I kind of know a little bit about the story. And if you was a real mixtape junkie, high school mixtape junkie, you'll know who I'm talking about. Akil Carr, um,
Oh yeah.
5'7", 150
Problem
pounds.
child.
Probably generous to be 5'7", to be honest with you. Um, in my opinion, he got a top five mixtape of all time, just as far as skill level. He was athletic, he was super duper quick, but as far as skill level, his craftiness, his finishing ability, it was like Kyrie on the high school level. He was amazing playing in Baltimore. Bounced around to a couple schools his last couple years. He ended up committing to Seton Hall, but never playing for them. He took the Brandon Jennings route. He just said, "I'm gonna just play overseas." Had a couple, that's where he currently is overseas, but bounced between overseas and the G League for the Delaware 76ers. Didn't get a chance to pull up his stats. Tried to look him up. Y'all, Akil Carr fans, get in the comments. Help me out there a little bit, but tell us how y'all feel about these players. Why do y'all think they didn't ultimately do much in college after their careers, and who would y'all put on this list as far as players from high school, phenomenal, but didn't exactly, light it up in college or, just after high school? Next, let's move to Frank Ragnow, in my opinion, legendary center for the Detroit Lions. How him about retiring? How you feel about that?
Um, he probably the best center in the league, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's 29 years old. Trying to
Yeah.
think of all the centers in the league, but not that many come to mind.
Creed Humphrey.
Oh yeah, but I think yeah, he retired 29 years old.
Yeah.
Um, he's a big part in why that Lions offense was and is what it is. It's going to be big shoes to fill. It also kind of reminds me because it came out of the blue, so it
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of what happened with Andrew Luck just retiring out of nowhere.
Mm.
Um, but I mean, obviously we knew why he retired because of all the injuries and everything adding up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did they say why he retired?
No. Well, I would
Yeah,
have
so
presumed it's like, maintain his health. You know what I mean?
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, because football nowadays, bro, it ain't trying to end up like Aaron Hernandez.
For sure that. For sure that.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah,
like you
yeah.
say, he's respected. He's one of those people that you're not gonna have to worry about as a quarterback. You're always gonna be protected when it comes to him doing his job and everything. Made it very easy for the Lions. Um, like I said, I know he's gonna be missed by the Lions, especially by Jared Goff, and we'll see what happens this year.
I feel it, man. Lions have been a good team the past few years. Of course, they'll have to rebuild, losing their offensive defensive coordinator, but also losing a veteran to the caliber of Frank Ragnow is going to be tough to replace. And like you just said, he's quite possibly the best center in the league. All pro last year as well for the last few years. I think he has 4 total all pros, multiple time Pro Bowl center. Lions possibly, well, I would put the Eagles having the best offensive line, but I say Lions at least had a top 5 offensive line NFL for the past few years, and he was a big reason why. Him and Penei Sewell, he's a candidate. I think he would have been a candidate for that new offensive line award that they just came out with this year. Is just going to be the first year of it, the offensive lineman of the year. Um, Offensive linemen don't get their just due. Again, they just get an award for the first time, and they've been a part of the game since the game's inception.
Yeah.
Obviously, they gonna get that money, but I think award recognition is awesome too, because that's arguably one of the hardest positions to play on a football field. You're going backwards, you're 300 pounds, and you got the most athletic guys in the league coming at you every single play. And you only hear about offensive linemen when they trash, to be honest. So, shout out to him prioritizing your health. You know what I'm saying? I think you're gonna see more players do this. Like, um, I'm not sure if you remember this guy or the fans gonna remember this guy, but Chris Bortland, I believe was his name, linebacker for the 49ers. He played his rookie year was like an all pro after Patrick Willis had retired. Guy was amazing, and then he retired after his rookie year. When I say he was one of the best linebackers in the NFL, um, he was one of the best players in the NFL. So Chris Borland, linebacker, players are prioritizing their health. Obviously, you mentioned Andrew Luck, um, retired during the preseason, so you know it was on his mind. So I think more players are going to start to walk away from the game um, younger to prioritize their health as you see everything that people are saying about CTE. Obviously, you mentioned, Aaron Hernandez, definitely not trying to end up like that boy. But there's many other cases, including players that we don't even know about, that's right now suffering in silence from, the years
Yeah.
that they put into that field. So, man, shout out to him in retirement. I hope his health is still good and intact, and hope he walked away and retired himself instead of letting the game retire him for sure. Um, Moving on to our final topic for the night, and that's the current what's going on right now. I don't know who won the game or if it's still going on, but it was close.
Bro, it's a close ass game, bro. Them
The-
boys done let these niggas back in the game.
yeah, the NBA Finals between the Pacers and Thunder, man. Give me your thoughts on that. And what the score is right now.
It is. Let's see. Let me go to Hard Rock because you know, it gives the score closer.
You put the
Or
money on that? You bet it on this? Oh yeah, you said you would.
I'm not even watching this. I'm not watching. I look at the updates and that's about it. It's 98 to 106. Thunder are up.
Damn, with 3 minutes 24 seconds. Yeah, the Thunder might close that one out. But
That doesn't piss me off. They supposed to beat their ass.
I would just like to say, man, the Pacers had 19 turnovers. I believe in the first, I want to say quarter. At minimum, it was half.
First half. First half.
First half, 19 turnovers is insane. That's insane for a game. 19 turnovers is crazy. That's a lot of turnovers, G. For them to even be close, I know they're gonna get them confidence for game two, but we're gonna have to see. But what's your thoughts on this NBA Finals? I know you still feeling the effects of New York getting put out of there, but what's your thoughts on this Finals? Who you got winning?
I want to say, got the Thunder winning in like 5 games. Um, Not giving the Pacers a chance here, and it's not just because they knocked off the Knicks. I think the Thunder have been the best team all year long. Um, I think it's showing one of the best teams defensively. Uh, there's really nobody that can stop Shea. He works through doubles. He works through all types of stuff. And then Jalen Williams, another great option. But it's just the way that team gels together. Everybody knows their role. Chet took kind of a step back in his role, the scoring department and everything. But just, who they have, you got Lou Dort, who, is one of the best defenders in the league. Dude is locked down. Got Isaiah Hartenstein out there. We know how big he was for the Knicks, so you know how big he is for the Thunder for him to have. Then, like I said, along with Lou Dort, you got the combination of him and Alex Caruso, two great 3-and-D players. They have an elite bench, a great scoring bench. Aaron Wiggins has one of the best bags coming off the bench in the league. He's shown that plenty of times. I could just go on and on if I'm being honest with you. Chet Holmgren, dude is, he's changing shots, blocking shots, grabbing rebounds. He's out there extending the floor. You really can't. It's kind of just picking and choosing with this team. Are you going to try to let them live and die by the three, trying to double Shea and get the ball out of Shea's hands? Or are you going to let Shea go to work and just start opening the floor up for his team? Because the whole team's unselfish, They're always looking for the better option. whether it's Shea or whether it's Case and Wallace, whoever's open is going to see the ball. And at any given point, anybody on that team, guard wise, can go off for 20 points. Yeah. And that's really cool.
Yeah, man. I agree with you with the prediction as far as the Thunder. I just think when you look at the variables in this series and how you weigh them, I think it favors more on the Thunder side. I think the Thunder have a better bench, even though I think Indiana's bench is really good. I think the Thunder have a better bench. As far as offensive-wise, the Pacers, I think they have a better offense, but Thunder are also elite on offense. Defense, I'm definitely riding with the Thunder. They got one of the best defenses in league history. Again, this is a team that won 68 games. I don't think they're getting enough credit for having one of the best regular seasons of all time. I don't think people understand 68 games, shit. They won 5 less games than the 73-9 Warriors. Than the Bulls. They won 4 less games than the Bulls. I mean, 2 less games, actually. I think the Bulls went, unless I'm tripping, what the Bulls record was, 72-10? Something like that.
72.
They're right there with them for most wins of all time. They barely lost this year. Now, I think they should have lost to Denver. I think if the Lakers got a center, they would have beat them. But hey, I guess we'll never know. I think them boys about to get their first ring. I think these games are going to be closer than what people think. But ultimately, Shea is also a great closer down the stretch, especially him getting to that free throw line. You mentioned Lou Dort and Alex Caruso, but Jalen Williams is also a player that made all defense this year too. He just ain't just an all-star. He's also all NBA and all defensive. They got elite wings on the defensive and offensive side. They got Shea, the MVP, Hardenstein and Chet locking down the interior. That's hard to come by. I do like Indiana's roster. I just think they're another piece away. You know what I mean? Siakam is a great second option. Tyrese is a great player. I just think they need one more dog on that team to, if they would have had them, they could have possibly got over the hump. This is a perfect Kawhi Leonard situation. Real quick, before we get up out of here, I want to ask you real quick, where you think KD gonna go? What you think would be a good fit for him? With him potentially, with seeming like he on the trade block.
Come to the Knicks. But that's really what the Knicks are missing. Another person that can create. Like you said, Mikal Bridges. Besides stopping and popping at the mid-range, backdoor cuts, when he has the ball in his hands, he seems to turn it over a good amount as well. He does, bro. It's just, but that was the whole Knicks team that faced the series. A lot of turnovers. Somebody just to open up more for Cat, because I think Cat got too trigger happy from the 3-point line at times. Nobody could guard him in the paint throughout the playoffs or driving to the paint. So I just think having, a guy like Kevin Durant there that can play make, that can make those tough shots. He's good on defense as well. He rebounds. He's always making the right play. I think somebody like that, especially at his age, to still be able to perform the way he's performing, come to the Knicks, But as far as best fit-wise for him, I wouldn't mind seeing him probably, I want to say, on the... He'd be a good fit with the Grizzlies, I would think. And I think that Grizzlies team needs a veteran like Kevin Durant to come in, kind of settle them down. Kind of like the Fred VanVleet situation with the Rockets, how he came into a young Rocket team, Something like that. I think both parties would benefit from something like that, because Kevin Durant would instantly go there and, be a great tandem between him, Desmond Bane, John Morant, and then Jaren Jackson as well, form their own, little big four. But also, he'd be able to have the ball in his hands, I believe, a lot more than he would have between Devin Booker and Bradley Beal.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that. I love that pick for KD right there for really both those teams, the Knicks and Grizzlies, especially the Grizzlies. for me personally, who I would like him to go to and who I think he'd be a great fit, I'm gonna personally say. I think I would like him to go to Minnesota. I think that's what Minnesota really needs. They got the defense. Obviously, the star player, the franchise cornerstone, that's his favorite player. And KD is a culture-setting type player. You know, plenty of people have said over the years, just watching him practice is one of the best experiences that they ever seen. And I think he can set that work ethic for Anthony Edwards to show him, you know, to mature up a little bit, but also refine his game. I think he'll be a good fit between Ant and Julius Randle. I like what's our boy name, Jared Vanderbilt, Nikhil, but I think that he'll be a great addition to that team right there, and I can see him being a great fit there as well as who I want him to go to. But if I'm just being, you know, providing a different team real quick, man, Kevin Durant. He can go on any team and make them instantly better. This is Kevin Durant we talking about.
He can make any team a championship contender, honestly.
Yeah. You know what would be scary? If he went back to the Thunder. That would be
nuts. That a lot too.
That would be nuts. That would be crazy as fuck. I don't even want to see that, but I could see that happening. I don't want to see that, but I could see that happening. But I think we could see him go to, you know, one of the teams that we mentioned. You know, I thought he was a nice little piece for Phoenix. But I think the teams we picked, I love your pick of the Grizzlies. Honestly, I can't even argue against that one, man. I love that pick right there. But Minnesota, I think I'll rock with him. I think he'll be a good fit, and he'll be that's where I want him to go to. So Minnesota, not sure KD is going to want to go there, but you know, it is what it is.
I know he don't want to go somewhere. He don't want to stay.
Yeah, I could.
But I heard, yeah.
If KD, hey, the Lakers, but I know he probably ain't gonna want to go there because it's probably gonna be LeBron farewell tour, and you know, all the spotlight is about to be on LeBron in the next year if this is indeed his farewell tour. So, you know, we're gonna end the Lakers as far as assets you're gonna have to give up. It's like they building for Luka. They should be.
They already gave up too much assets to try to keep. But Thunder just, I mean, this game is 109 to 110.
Who winning?
Thunder.
The game over with? Oh shit! Hold on real quick. But yeah, y'all get in the comments. Let us know who y'all think where KD gonna go. How y'all feel what'll be a good fit for them boys. I'm just gonna see real quick if who gonna win and motherfucker. That was definitely a foul. And that boy Siakam looked like a real African when he was just yelling like that. But
look at me, I'm the captain now. That's what he looked like. Bro, these boys really about to try and steal another game, dog. Jesus Christ, dude. Bro, if the Thunder don't score here, bro, I think the Pacers finna take this. That Shado, killer shit. Oh.
He missed that bit. Break.
Oh, my bro. The Pacers about to take it. I'm finna, bro.
Oh! Hey!
Bro. Hey, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I need to stop disrespecting the Pacers.
Oh!
Hey, bro, you can't, bro. That's one thing I'm gonna say, bro.
No.
Halliburton, one of the most clutchest dudes I've seen in the playoffs.
Facts. He on the Jordan run, no cap. He on
the thing is, bro, these teams is getting dogged out by a true light skin, bro. Like the type of light skin that when he fall down, he fall into a split or some shit. They getting dogged out by that, bro.
No,
I gotta give it to the Pacers, bro. These niggas, bro, these boys just keep bro. They have. I think they've only lost like 2 or 3 games on the road the whole playoffs.
Damn. Yo, that's crazy. It's only 0.3 seconds. Y'all get live reaction, man. 32-minute podcast. Episode 94, man. This is live reaction, man. 0.3 seconds left in the game. Shit, man. That's crazy. That's
That
crazy.
boy clutch, bro. I can't, bro. I'm
People,
pissed they knocked him off, bro, but I can't hate, bro. That man clutch, bro.
for people to say he was the most overrated player in the NBA was kind of crazy to me, too, because I thought it was universally known when he got traded from Sacramento that they made a mistake there. But I think it was honestly, I think it was bro cooling it with the snow bunnies to where people were just like, the dude kind of corny. He kind
He's
of,
on and off the court.
yeah.
Bruh, this shit over with, bro. It's 0.3 seconds. All you can do is I think you can get a catch and shoot with 0.3 if I'm not mistaken. I think they changed it.
Yeah, it might be. It might have throw that alley oop. Then they called another timeout. Damn.
That's the only thing about Halliburton. Dude can't play defense. But I'll tell you one thing, bro.
Wow.
This shit crazy. My cousin gonna ask me if I'm watching. I ain't got no damn choice after this. I'm about to watch this. I'm about to make me watch the series.
That's crazy.
What's that one song? What the Halliburton? Dang, bro. Bro, I don't know, bro.
That's crazy. That is crazy. That's clutch, bro. That legendary, bro. No cap. I can't even. He on the run, bro. If they end up winning this series, well, I ain't gonna get ahead of myself.
Bro, forget that, bro. Just for them to, bro, they was down like 15-16 at one point, I think, bro.
Yeah.
I thought the game was over.
Them boys like when Kimba with them was in college.
That's really what it is, bro.
At UConn.
Hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. What this man doing, bro, they need to drug test him. I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired of this, man. I'm getting freaking tired of this. Throwing a lob.
That's crazy. They let one get away.
Hey, but you know what's gonna happen with Shea now next game, right?
He was balling this game. He was super aggressive in balling this game, though.
I don't know if you just seen his face when he walked off the court.
Oh, wait. Shit. That nigga was smiling. Them boys still went to game 7.
That boy had 38.
Yeah, I'm saying he was balling. He had 19.
Bro, yeah. And the crazy thing is, bro, like, if you're looking at the Pacers, like, stats, bro, they had 6 motherfuckers, almost 7 motherfuckers in double figures.
They play like the Spurs back in the day. But that's an incredible win, man. But I'll let you get up out of here, bro.
Yeah, man. Damn, bro.
All right, G. It's been a good episode, man.
We was just talking about these motherfuckers all defense. We need to be talking about these motherfuckers being all offense.
And he was locked up on that shot, too.
Bro, how you get that? Bro, the thing is, how he gets. I don't understand how he get the separation with that ugly ass jumper. I'm tight, bro. Bro, I gotta give credit, bro. This man is bro. This man has been the most clutch player in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Whenever they need a big shot or there's a big moment, bro, he's always involved in it somehow. Man, he be blowing me, bro.
Damn, they stole one. That's crazy.
Fucking light skin, dog.
All right, then, OG.
All right, man, I'm gonna hit you. Or I gotta stop this.